All right, it's recording.
All right.
So, what I really try to do, or my goal with this, was just try to connect with you and try to keep basketball going, man. Since there's not much for us to do right now, we can't get in the gym and stuff like that. But what I really wanted to do is try to teach my big passion, or what really connected or clicked for me with basketball, is when like I understood how to think about my own game. I think it's a really important step. Like people talk about like Mamba mentality all the time, but you can build your own mentality. You can build the type of player you want to be. You can build the type of workouts you want to do, what you want to focus on, and all that stuff. But it's not like something you just do. You got to get better at it over time. And one of my, just to give you a background, when I graduated after I finished playing my 4 years, I was a grad assistant for a little bit for my coach. And my biggest interest was getting in the film room and asking him questions about how he cut up film, all that stuff. Okay,
All right.
that's what we're gonna do today. I couldn't cut up film because it was on YouTube. I didn't know how to download it, but I time stamped it so we can look through stuff. So I'm gonna share my screen with you. Okay.
All right.
Let me know if you can see it. Can you see that?
It's loading right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, so really the three goals of what we're trying to do is right now we're going to look at some data, and we're going to look at some film to figure out what kind of player you are. Okay, and the biggest thing, if you can, is to step away from who you think you are and just look at the numbers or look at the film. All right.
All right.
So we're going to try to figure out what kind of player you are, and then after that, we're going to talk about, well, what kind of player do you want to be, and then from there we can focus on, well, what can we do to get there? Okay.
Okay.
So the first one is without any data or anything. I just want to ask you, like, what situation, it can be just one word, what situation are you most comfortable with or confident in on the basketball floor?
Like being a catch and shoot shooter. Not like I don't really like create for myself as much.
Catch and shoot. Cool. All right. So that's all we're going to write for that box. And now we're going to look at some stats, okay?
Okay.
This first one, I just watched your last 3 games, and I kind of broke it down. This first one is just broad stats. So all I want you to do is take a look at it and let me know if there's anything that sticks out to you.
Well, the first game I noticed I only had 2 points. Went 1 for 7.
Yeah.
And then my 3-point shooting in 2 of the 3 games were like decent. I mean, not as good as I'd like it to be.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's all I see as of right now.
I'm good with that. Okay, so we're going to move on to something. I'm going to explain all this before I let you go and look at it, okay? Because it's a little different. So this is what I call advanced stats. These are some of the things that are really, when you're looking at an individual player, these are some of the things that you can really focus on to really figure out, okay, what can I do better? All right. And remember, just look at the stats. So I'm going to explain what they are. Touches are literally anytime you get the ball in a situation where you can kind of do something with it. Okay. Like if somebody throws the ball and it hits your fingertips, that doesn't count as a touch. But if you catch it and you get to make a decision, that's a touch.
Okay.
Right? Positive touches are just anytime you do something aggressive. It could be a drive to the hole. It could be a catch and shoot. It can be I don't know, a good pass to a teammate real quick. All right. Negative touches are anything that's a turnover or anything where you lose the ball or anything that you do to end the possession. Okay.
All right.
Neutral is where you catch the ball, but you don't really do anything with it. You either just like dribble handoff or you swing it, but not to really do anything. You're just getting rid of it. Your aggressive percentage is how, out of all your touches, how many times did you try to do something? Okay.
All right.
And then the rest are kind of easy. Catch and shoot is anytime you caught and shot. These are the scenarios. So the first game you were 0 for 1. So you did 1 catch and shoot, and then that's your catch and shoot percentage. Rim attack is anytime you attack the rim off the dribble. That's how many times you did it, how many times you made, and then your percentage. And then pull up is anytime you're making a move and then you're shooting off the dribble. It can be threes and it can be twos, but it's something off the bounce.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's your pull up percentage. Rebound wins is this is kind of anytime the ball is within 2 feet of you, did you get the ball or not on a rebound? So that's like for this one, the ball bounced near you 4 times, you got it 2 times, so your rebound percentage is 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I want you to do is just take a look at it, look through, and if anything catches your eye, just talk out loud.
My catch and shoot percentages are a little low. And then I think my finishing isn't as good either. Or the rim attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the last game, I had a 47% rebound wins, so I think that could have been better.
Cool.
And that's all.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. So what we're going to do next is take a look at some clips. Okay. And since you targeted catch and shoot and rim attack as a couple areas that kind of caught your eye, we're going to start with that. All right.
All right.
And then if we want to go do more, we can do more. But for now, we're just going to stick with that. Let me figure out which game I want to go to first. Let's go to. Okay, so first I'm going to play you rim attack clips. All right.
Okay.
And what we're going to do is I'm going to play you all the rim attack clips. And then at the end of it, if you notice anything, let me know. And then we'll go through it again. And I'll say, oh, let's do this. I'll show you one clip. You tell me if you notice anything, and then I'll tell you if I notice anything. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So 243 is the first one.
I don't see the clip right now.
No, you don't?
No.
Okay. Give me a second.
Hold on.
All right, let me know when you see it.
All right, I see it.
Okay. I might have to go back a little farther. That's not a rim attack. That's a bunny. I mislabeled them. 512. Okay. Let me play that one more time for you. What it looks like to me is you got the ball swung to you. Defender overcommitted or closed out too hard. You saw a lane and you took it, okay? Mm-hmm. Take a look at it one more time, and then let me know if you notice anything.
Can we play it again one more time?
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Well, that shot I actually remember. I probably could have used the backboard instead of just trying to do a floater like with all net.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I probably could have just finished like strong instead of doing a floater. What I think.
Got you. Finish strong. backboard possibly. All right. I'm gonna take you back to another clip before I talk, okay? Because I want to
All right.
show you another one. Okay. One more time. It looks like you again attack off a triple threat and get to the lane. Oh, you off the bounce. Okay. You see that one?
Yeah.
Is there anything you noticed?
That one looked like I kind of just like tossed it up without even like looking at the rim really, because I was falling down kind of when I threw it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. So you just said falling down. Okay. So now something that I want to pick your brain about is the first thing you did was you attacked and you used minimal moves, which is always a good thing. If you can get by your defender and you don't need anything, that's what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to ask you, before you attack, what do you see or what are you looking at?
I'm usually checking to see what the defender is gonna do, like how he's running at me and like where he's running at.
Yeah, that's good.
That's usually what I look at.
That'll get you by your guy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you should do. Now I'm going to talk to you because we're building for the next level now. And if you're building for the next level, attacking your guy is never good enough. I want you to take a look at help side right now, okay?
All right.
So when you catch the ball, you should be able to see your man, but also see through your man to figure out what help side is doing. So right now, all I want you to do is pay attention to help side. What did he do?
He came in a little late.
Yeah.
And all he did was just put his hands up. He didn't really do anything else.
Yeah. And look at his, okay, so watch his eyes. What is he looking at the whole time? You caught the ball. Where's his eyes?
Away. Wait, play it back again?
I know it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah. So number three or the big guy?
The guy under this guy back here. The guy on the strong side help. So this guy that's in the corner, okay?
All right.
So he opens up to his man. He opens up to his man, comes into the paint, and his eyes were on you the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay? So what I'm trying to show you is if you attack this hole, you have to understand that getting by your guy is good. Elite players understand what the help side is doing before you even move, okay? Because if he's standing there waiting for you, there's two things that you have to do. Or there's a lot of options that you can take. But if this guy's a threat in the corner, you got to kick to the corner, obviously. That's the easy play, right? But if you attack, you have to understand that I got to do a second move here, which you did understand, and you did a Euro step. But you got to be able to get that shot off because the second thing you said was you were falling to the ground and you weren't balanced, right?
Yeah.
So if you're falling to the ground and you're imbalanced, usually what that means is you need to get your base stronger. So your legs got to be stronger in order to fight through contact and keep moving forward.
All right.
So we're going to take a look at that first one we just looked at again.
All right.
Okay. Go back farther. Not that one. 537. Sorry, I'm messing up. 512. Bam. Okay. So again, I want you to watch help side, okay?
All right.
you notice anything in particular?
They all came in, and there was a guy in the corner.
Yeah. And this guy right here, if you take a look, all his freeze. Look at his body posture. What's he doing? Is he in a stance?
No.
He's straight up and down, right?
Yeah.
Where are his eyes? Completely on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is totally committed to helping you, helping off his man and coming over to stop you. Now, what you have to understand is if you're an elite player, you got by your guy. That's what good players do. If you're an elite player, what you have to recognize is this guy's standing straight up. There's no way he can take contact.
Mm-hmm.
Any little bump, any little secondary move, he's going to be out of the picture. Oops, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be out of the picture. Now, you did something that we work on all the time, which I'm fine with, right? You shot a floater, okay?
Yeah.
But you have to understand is if this guy is already loaded on you and he's not on his heels, he's going to be able to contest that floater, and that's why that's why you shot an air ball, right? He did a good contest. He did his job.
Mm-hmm.
But moving forward, unless this guy is 7 feet tall, then you need to do a floater a little bit further back. But if you got to understand who you're playing against and see through the defense. So you got by your guy, you see that secondary defender. What is he doing? Okay, and you got to make that read quick. And if you can make it read quick enough and you make contact with this guy, there's no way he's going to be able to contest your shot. All right.
Yeah.
And so this kind of goes in with the first thing too is balance, finding your balance, making sure your base is strong. Because if you have lower body strength, you're going to get more confident going through guys and taking contact. Okay.
Okay.
Let's move on to another one. I got a good one at the end that I want to show you. 2630. I got a couple good ones at the end, but let's look at this one first. Boom. What did you do there?
I kicked it out to the corner.
You read that weak side, right?
Mm-hmm.
That help side is sitting there in the paint with all eyes on you. And you did what a good basketball player does. You made a read. Let me go back a little bit further. Okay, I want you to notice something before I start playing. So we talked about being comfortable in a situation when we first started, and you said you were very comfortable catching and shooting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And before I show you anything, I really believe that you are super confident in catching and shooting. Because anytime you have an opportunity to catch and shoot, you pretty much take it. I think out of the three games that I watched, there was one clip where you had a chance to catch and shoot and you kind of hesitated. But everything else, you take it because you know that's something you're comfortable in. I think you hit it on the head when you said you gotta get your percentages up. That's just about reps. That's about shooting game-like shots and all that. Okay.
All right.
But right now we're talking about rim attack. And most of the film that I watched you play, it does not look like this. Now, this is the Sean that I feel needs to be activated the whole time. I'm going to play it, and I want you to tell me what do you think or why do you think I'm saying that? Okay. Is there anything that you noticed?
I tried harder. To me, it looks like I went a little harder in trying to get by the man, and then I realized how they're all coming down on me, so I kicked it out. Right?
Yep. That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
You tried. This guy D'd up on you hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
He picked you up from the wing pretty much when you caught the ball, and then extended you all the way out to beyond this line. And at some point, with you backing up from this line to this line, you said, "This guy's going to try to guard me, and I'm going to go by him, and I don't care what he does." And you made a solid move, and you got by him. You got to the paint, you kicked it out to your teammate. Now, a big thing in basketball is your posture, man. Posture, the way that you hold your body, gives you that extra second to be more aggressive. Now I want you to take a look at what your body posture is. Right there, standing straight up, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what? Then what happened?
I got low.
Yeah. You played low to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And when you play low to the ground, your base becomes stronger. You can you can take on contact more, you can absorb it more. And when instead of getting bumped off your line, you start bumping them to get to where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to look at another one, 35-12. Okay. So this is if I were just watching you before, like if someone was to ask me what does Sean feel most confident in, catch and shoot is definitely one of them. The other one I would say is posting up smaller players. When you have somebody that's smaller on you, you're like, give me the ball. There was even one time you were arguing with your dad, like, I don't want to run the play. Look at the guy guarding me. I'm going to the block. He made you run the play anyways, but that's what you said.
Yeah.
All right, but look, take a look. Okay. What do you notice about that?
I noticed that another guy came in from the my right hand, and then I spun
Yeah. What was your posture like?
low
Yeah. When did you know you wanted to score that ball?
when I saw that I had a smaller guard on me.
Yeah, before you even touched it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what I'm trying to let you know is confidence and comfortability and rhythm are super important in basketball. That's why anytime you catch the ball in a catch and shoot situation, you let it fly because you're comfortable and you're confident in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to understand or be confident in other situations as well. This is another one, posting up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're taking contact with that guy, you're bumping him off, and you don't even care. Like you're like, I'm scoring this ball, but I want to show you. I want to show you another clip. Let me see. 13. Mm, 2150. 2150. When did you think you wanted to score that ball?
When I caught it.
Yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not before, not understanding that you're going to be aggressive in this situation. You took an opportunity, which isn't wrong, but if you take a look at your posture from the two that I showed you before to this one, you're standing straight up, man.
Yeah.
And I know it doesn't feel like a lot, but anytime you're standing straight up and then you get down and you're going to do something, there's a transition in thought, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're standing straight up, you're kind of like, I'm just chilling, I'm just cruising, whatever. If something comes my way, I'll take it. When you're in a posture that, a lowered posture, one that's aggressive, you're like, I'm trying to score. Like, I'm scoring right now. If I get a chance to score, I'm scoring, right? Aggressive to seize an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when you're standing straight up and then getting low, it takes a second delay, just 1 second delay to transfer from not doing anything to doing something. And what I'm trying to tell you is that when you're activated, when you're like, I'm going to try to score, you are a way better basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
And if we take a look at your touches, so I'm going to go back to the stats. If we take a look at your touches, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Cool. If you take a look at your touches, right, your aggressive rate, 35%, 39%, and 48%. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what that tells me is less than half the times you touch the ball, you're aggressive to score. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Which is okay if you consider yourself a middle role player, because that's what those numbers are.
All right.
So if you consider yourself a middle role player on this team that I just watched you play, then that's okay. If you want to be the best or if you want to be an elite basketball player, those aggressive numbers need to go up. You got to be in like the 65, 70 plus range, especially on a team like this.
Okay.
Okay. What are you thinking about all the things we just talked about right now?
There's a lot of stuff I never really thought about, like the touches percentages and like the aggressiveness, how many times I'm aggressive when I catch the ball and stuff like that. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
And then I also realized like the amount of times my catch and shoot percentages aren't where I thought they were. I thought they were a little higher than that, but I realized they're not. So I need to work on that more.
Yeah. You had one out of it's a small sample, right? It's only 3 games, right? There was one game where you were 4 for 5 from the 3. Like, that's good. That's awesome, right? And the other games, you weren't. You shot like you were 0 for 1 game, and then you're something else the other game. But that's okay. What I'm trying to tell you is that's okay because you are comfortable as a catch and shoot shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you going to work on?
I want to work on like attacking more.
Okay.
More aggressive driving.
That's good. But as a catch and shoot shooter, it's pretty straightforward, right? I'm comfortable catching and shooting. I want to get better at catching and shooting, so I'm going to practice catching and shooting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing to know about yourself. That's a really good thing to know about yourself, because if you watch that full tape in that game where you shot the ball really well, eventually what started happening is by shooting the ball well, it opened up lanes for you to drive. Okay, so it's okay to be really, really good at something and not so good at the other things. You'll get better at the other things. But if let's say, so out of those 3 games you shot whatever catch and shoot percentage, let's say you consistently shot 50% catch and shoot. What's the defense gonna do?
They're gonna run up on me harder.
Yeah, they're gonna close out on you harder. So now your drives become a little bit easier. And if your drives become a little bit easier because they're closing out on you hard, your rim attack percentages go up. They should go up. Okay. If they don't go up, then that's something else you got to work on, your finishes and stuff like that. But it's okay to be really good at something and not so good at the other things right now. All right. The other thing I want to let you know is it's okay to make mistakes, man. So, let me take a look. Yeah. Okay. So it's okay to make mistakes. I'm looking at your touches right now. Okay.
All right.
Out of all these games you had, so the first game against OCO Phoenix, you only had 3 negative touches. Okay. The NYS game, you only had 3 negative touches. The AFMC game, you had 10 negative touches, which you were more aggressive in because you were shooting the ball well. So guys were closing out on you and you're feeling yourself a little bit. Probably your confidence was up from shooting the ball well. So now you're trying to do more things, which led to more mistakes. Okay.
All right.
What I'm trying to tell you is, do you want to be a role player? Do you want to be a good player, or do you want to be an elite player?
An elite player.
So if you want to be an elite player, you have to maximize your touches, number 1. You have to not care about the mistakes that you make, number 2.
All right.
I mean, not that you don't care about them. You got to learn from them. And that's what we're doing right now. Okay.
Yeah.
And the way that you learn from them is you watch film, you reflect on your game. If you don't break down stats, you have someone break down stats for you, like I'm doing right now. And you let the numbers and the data talk for themselves. Don't just feel like you're a good player. You gotta have some proof somewhere.
All right.
And to be elite, you gotta make mistakes, man. Like I said, I've had games. So like I shot like 40% my whole basketball career shooting threes. And that's a really good clip, right? That usually when you're shooting 40%, you're considered a shooter.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I had summer league games where I went 0 for 11. And what I knew in that game going 0 for 11 was I don't give a damn about this game right now. I mean, I want to win because I'm a competitor. Yeah. But I'm going to win getting better at the things that I need to get better at so I can become an elite player. So I go 0 for 11 from 3 this game. Who cares? Because it just made me better. Now, I'm not scared to miss. I'm not scared to shoot. I know when I'm supposed to shoot. I know what shots I'm going to shoot, and the next one I get, I'm going to shoot it again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So your touch number, your aggressive number has to go up.
All right.
And the way that you do that is your posture. When you catch that ball, you should already be in a triple threat or whatever. Like, I'm going to attack. Even if you don't, you need to be in that mindset, because if there's an opportunity there, it doesn't wait for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We got a lot of stuff to go over, and we can keep going over it, but I'm going to stop it today.
All right.
Just to, and then we can connect again, and maybe next time we talk about catch and shoot or something like that. But I want to fill out that chart that we just started. I'm going to share my screen with you again.
Okay.
Okay. So the first box we got to fill out is not where. What kind of player are you? Okay. The first thing you said is, I feel most comfortable catching and shooting. That's what you feel. And confidence is a super important part about basketball. Have you watched the Last Chance documentary or Last Dance documentary at all?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
So something Jordan said that blew my mind was, because I grew up watching a lot of Jordan. Something that he said was, I couldn't let the other team beat us in the regular season. I couldn't let them get any confidence on us, because if they got confident, they might beat us. Mm-hmm. And what blew my mind was Michael Jordan, who I thought was Superman, the greatest player in the whole world, was actually worried that somebody can beat him. And that's how powerful confidence is as a basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's good that you are comfortable and confident in catching and shooting. Now we got to get better at that. But the next box says, what does the film or the stats say? So this whole session, and that we just talked about stats, talked about film, what's something that you take away from it, or what's something that sticks out to you?
I am a catch and shoot, but it's not a consistent one.
Okay.
I just like shooting more than making them.
Anything else?
From the clips that we watched, it was more driving other than like shooting outside. It's more inside the paint.
Yeah. Anything you notice about driving then?
I gotta become more stable or have a stronger base so I could take contact.
Okay. Now, what kind of player do you want to be? So we're gonna stick with these categories a little bit. So catch and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just talk about catch and shoot. What kind of player do you want to be with catching and shooting?
I want to be like a knockdown catch and shoot player.
What does that look? What does that mean to you?
It's like I really consistent shooter. I don't miss as much as I am right now.
Cool. I like that word, consistent. I think that's a good way to explain it. Okay, and then let's talk about strong base for rim attacks with contact. So what kind of player do you want to be with that category?
I want to be able to finish consistently, and even if I don't finish, take the contact and get to the free throw line, because I can make free throws consistent.
Cool. Okay. So the last category is, how do we get there? So I know it's kind of, do you have a basketball court that you can shoot at or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a rim in my backyard.
Perfect. Okay. So the player that you want to be with catching and shooting is, you want to be a knockdown catch and shoot player. And you want to be consistent with it. So how do we get there? What's something you can do?
Take shots every day, or in-game shots.
Yeah. Another thing I would challenge you to do is I'll give you 2 options. You want to meet again at some point, and we'll go over all your catch and shoot scenarios, or do you want to do it yourself?
Oh, we could go over it again another day.
Cool. Okay, so what I'll let you know for how do we get there with catch and shoot is, when do you want to meet? Do you want to do it on Maybe a Thursday or Friday.
All right.
Which day is better for you?
Either day works good for me.
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot for Friday then.
Okay.
I usually have meetings. So 4:30. Okay. Okay. All right. So your job with catching and shooting to get better is you got to get up shots every day. That's what you're committing to.
Mm-hmm.
Then on Friday we'll talk and we'll go through catch and shoot scenarios, and I'm gonna clip up your film to for only catch and shoot scenarios. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And then for strong base for rim attack with contact, you said finish consistently, take contact, get to the free throw line. So what's something you can do right now to get better at that?
I'm not really sure, but it's like leg workouts or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know of any right now that you can do?
Well, I know of like squats and lunges.
Are you able to do them at home right now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. For that one, why don't we do this? When we meet on Thursday, I'll just check up on you, okay?
Okay.
Workouts. I want to see what you did. We'll just talk about what you did. So, all right, just to kind of recap, we kind of talked about what do you feel comfortable in. We went through some of the stats. I broke down your film and took some stats, some key points, and we went through that. And then we watched a little bit of film. We probably will watch more next time because we won't have to go over the stats again.
Mm-hmm.
But we clipped up sometimes about rim attack, okay? And you made a commitment for a couple things. You're most comfortable in catching and shooting. And I feel like if you're comfortable and confident with something and you know like this is me, this is something I want to do, if you get better at that and get as good as you can get, as good as possible, it's going to open up other things. It'll drag the other things with it to make you better. Okay.
All right.
And how you're going to get better at that, as you said, you're going to get up shots every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to watch some catch and shoot film on Friday.
Okay.
The other thing is the rim attack. We watched some clips, a lot of it. There's more clips than that. There's quite a few clips where you take contact and you get bumped off your line. Okay. And what that means is if you're driving straight at the rim, the guy is bodying you, and you're going further and further away from the rim. There's a few clips of that, so I'll make sure I cut it up and I'll show it to you on Friday. Okay.
Okay.
But for a guy that I call Big Sean, you gotta get stronger. Okay.
All right.
You know how to take contact because you take contact in the post.
Mm-hmm.
You like to hit people when you're in the post. Now you got to translate that to your rim attack.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You got any questions for me or anything you want to talk about?
No, not right now.
All right. So I just wanted to connect with you, and this is like an ongoing thing, man. You got to think about your game. You got to think about what's going on, and it builds your mental toughness. It really does, to the point where you're like, I'm better than all these dudes on this court, and I'm going to show it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And this is step one. So thanks for meeting with me. We'll meet again on Friday. Cool.
All right.
All right. You got anything? Text me. Okay.
All right.
All right, Sean. Peace.
Yeah.